Welcome to Reread. Boy, am I excited for it today. It is the Galaxy of Fear series, the first book, Eaten Alive. Unfortunately, it has a hologram cover on it, so it doesn't really look that good. But I remember seeing it and going, oh, that's kind of funny, because it's a, I don't know, smiley face alien, and then he turns into a thing with the tongue sticking out, and they happen to be the parasites who live on the planet. I never knew that until I just reread it. I finally realized what that thing was in the hologram. I mean, I don't know. I guess I just never thought about it. I read it once and put it down. So, but looking back over, it's like, oh, those are the parasites on the planet. This one is where Zach and Tash Aranda, who are refugees from Alderaan, their parents died. They were away, so they missed out on Alderaan's death, but their parents died. They're now living with their uncle, a Shido shapeshifter named Hool. And Hool we know from the illustrated Star Wars universe by Kevin J. Anderson. Hool was in there. He gave an account of Tatooine. And I'm not really sure which one came first. I want to say the illustrated universe came first, and then John Whitman, who is excellent, kind of wove him in to this story. And I forgot, Hool is, I always thought that Hool was very calm and cool. And he is during action scenes, but he does get a little, hot-headed around the children. He doesn't want them touching anything. He gets tired of them asking questions. So, where I thought, oh, he's not someone who would bicker much. Yeah, the kids kind of get on his nerves, not in a bad way, just that, he doesn't want them meddling with things and, wants them behaving like children, not wandering off or, whatever, getting in trouble and stuff. So he does kind of bark a little bit at them, but it's not too bad. Anyway, so they go to this planet called Devourin. Get it? Devourin. And as they get there, they meet Shmada the Hutt, who knows Hool and wants to contract Hool as an assassin. And when they say, the kids say, our uncle's not an assassin, Shmada goes, you don't know your uncle. And they're like, whoa, we don't know our uncle. Later on, there's this whole mystery of who Hool is that they're going to discover later on, but there's 4 years of his life missing. And they say this in just about every book. They don't even know his first name. Well, why don't you ask? That's what I kept asking the whole time. But when they get there, they go to this place called the Don't Go In with 2 N's. I really do like that. Where there's free food. They give you free food. And people are disappearing on the planet. What's going on the planet Devourin? I love this. I love this. Anyway, there is an old hermit named Bebo. He's kind of crazy. His whole group got, eaten, he's saying. But they're like, but there's no trace of them. And every time someone disappears, not even their footsteps are there. So it's all like a big mystery. Well, Bebo leads Tash Aranda down into this old bunker. It's an Imperial experimental lab where something was going on, and there's a pendant, an electric pendant that keeps a little force field around you. And he gives it to Tash. He goes, you're going to need this, okay? And not only does it deflect blaster boats or make blaster boats go wild, but it also keeps them from the planet eating them. Yes, it's a living planet. Now, we've seen a living planet before in Rogue Planet, and I'm kind of wondering, does this have to deal with the Vong universe? The Vong story. Another living planets aren't, a new thing in the EU. At this point, I think there were, but now it makes sense. Like every time, Han, Luke, and Leia are also in this as well. And they arrive to the planet 15 minutes early. They jump out of hyperspace early, and so does Hool. And they just kind of, as they're talking, they meet up together. They kind of discover, they think that, oh, well, maybe the star charts are off, and that's why we kept getting out early out of hyperspace. And no, it's really that the planet can move on its own. It's a living planet. Now, I like to say that the Empire probably ran some tests on this living planet and corrupted it to be evil and eat life, something it was not supposed to do. So that kind of makes sense to me. Now, the Hutt, Shmada the Hutt, is safe because Smada's on his hover sled, so it can't swallow him up because he's not touching the ground. Zach gets a little sand skimmer from Chewbacca because I guess they're friends in the 4 minutes they meet up. And so he's always riding around the sand skimmer like a skateboard, which is why he's not being gobbled up. And the reason Tosh isn't being gobbled up is because she is wearing the pendant. But eventually, everyone on the planet is immediately eaten by this, and then the parasites, who are like the host of the planet, are revealing themselves. They reveal the big thing because the planet eats and then I guess regurgitates food underneath the ground. They stick their little tongues into the ground and slurp up bloody leftovers. I don't know, it's kind of gross, but I mean, this is Galaxy of Fear. And again, these are kind of rip-offs of Goosebumps, which was very popular at the time. But it's an excellent series because eventually they're all going to leave the planet. They think it devours itself, and they think they're safe. But at the end of every epilogue, there has to be something going on. And this merchant traveling through hyperspace stops. He comes out of hyperspace. He sees a planet. He's like, oh, an undiscovered planet. I may be rich. And heads down. It's Devourin again. It's still going to be out there devouring people. And I kind of like that. I like these. You're going to see me say good things about the Galaxy of Fear series because John Whitman is an unsung hero in the expanded universe. And I'll explain more about that next time.